Today is April 9th, 2026. Yesterday on the 8th, I told you in Walmart 62 there was people talking everywhere. Men talking how about that Kurt they talk about that's involved in this. And since the sheriffs called him slow years ago. How has that even been? And yeah. And then other men saying how Agent John was telling everybody he had the right to do all this stuff to her. And we found out how he talked to her on the phone. And that it's actually a federal crime for him to call her a liar or tell her to say she's lying. And him taking the money is actually a crime against the United States government because it's extortion out of government funds. Then, of course, there's riffraff. There's a girl saying that Karen's will was going to make it up to her, that it didn't care where the money came from. Well, you should. Because the cartel announced in 23 that the cartels were paying for it. And then what else did they admit? They're getting the money from human trafficking people. It's money from dead women and children that they sold. You better care. You know, if you took money from somebody who robbed a bank and you knew that money was from a bank robbery, and you went ahead and took it anyways, you can be an accessory after the fact. So you should care where they called it in 23 up in North Canton. It's blood money. Came off of dead women and children they sold and killed. It's blood money. That's why God made hell. You better care, bitch. Then, of course, there's some idiot making a scene. That agent told her to say she was lying and then taped it. That's all there is to it. Yeah, say you're lying, I'll arrest you. Say you're lying, I'll put you in jail. Do you know that puts him in jail for 20 years? It's a federal crime for him to bully people into false statements, and no coerced confession is admissible. You bully somebody, being an officer, into a false statement under a threat, you're going to put them in jail. You're going to arrest them and come right up there and arrest them. If they don't say what you tell them to say, that is considered badgering, obstruction, and tampering with a witness, and it's 20 years. That's why they're sending it out to police departments. All those men were also talking about they're sending it out to police departments. You know, I taped Dixie with her permission of seeing men bully me into giving my jewelry back. They were standing at the pop counter in Wendy's in Maslin. Give your jewelry back. You hear me? I said, give it back or else. And I'm holding Brielle. She's a baby. And I'm looking at them. And Dixie doesn't know that Dave's threatened to kill her and the baby. Now they're showing up, threatening me while I'm holding my grandchild. But she's seen him. Let me tape her with her permission of seeing him. You know, she also seen 4 men follow me around. One of them was a white hair guy with his hair parted on the side. Followed me a lot. They were the ones that were telling people they were handlers men. FBI handlers. The ones that admitted they bashed my skull in on 12/21/18. And Bob Evans the first week of January 19. But she's seen them follow me. And Wendy's and other places, several places in 19. Get the idea? You know, March 17, 26, I'm in McDonald's in Carrollton. There's a guy by the front. Now, they got cameras all through there. He said, I found out that agent even took her monthly income money. Can you imagine he took her monthly income? It's like him stealing a Social Security check from somebody on Social Security. That was my monthly income for working this case. I told him I didn't have any money to live on. He said, can you imagine he even stole her monthly income. I was going to try to steal the Tracheostomy money, found out he stole that too. And he said, but I can't even believe he would even steal her monthly income. You know, it's a good thing that Agent John don't work for the Social Security Department. Every senior citizen wouldn't have their Social Security check to pay the rent. But you know what else that guy said? He said, I had someone look her up. Her original case really was just a threat and attempt to lie case to find out who was behind it. That's all it was. Just a little case. And who would have thought it would have led into big drug dealers' arrest? And they said it actually did. They got some really big drug dealers that showed up that helped out with this. And they got them. And then they found out where they said, we'll sell the login for $25 a pop. That guy was selling the login to the case, and other people have it. And nobody would say a word to her with her saying stuff, what's going on, because other people already have it anyways. Some guy was trying to say no one should care about her. She says, what's going on? We can't do that either. Because the day that an FBI agent says that no one's to care about the informant or anybody, if they say anything, it's a federal crime. They tell people they can't help them. They're not to care what happened to them. It's a federal crime of obstruction and tampering with a witness. They can never tell you to stay quiet. Just like they can't say if you say something you don't get your informant money, it's blackmail. It's obstruction, justice, and tampering with a witness. And it's extortion out of government funds. That money's meant for the informant. And only the informant. For risking a life to get them information. You know, Officer Mark, Officer John, if you do me a favor, I know you guys know from 18 where my community health told you guys that what was wrong with me before was medical malpractice, medication errors, and fraud. Okay? Right. And they were just defrauding me, ripping me off, and they almost killed me, causing massive body swelling, seizures, heart attack, thyroid, adrenal gland shutdown, chemically causing all that. I had had the 6 to 10 surgeries on my stomach, and then that big back surgery of 5 inches for the kidney. And that's when my muscles crunched. Cut in so many different places, they just clenched. Just having 6 to 10 surgeries on your stomach can cause muscle weakness in your legs. And if just even a back surgery, any kind of back surgery, you can lose feeling, numbness, weakness in your legs, and you can lose the use of them for a while. And 1% of people are permanent. So then going to those crackpots that gave me all that medicine made me gain all that weight, and then all that body swelling, and then my knees were so swollen. You know, that's where when people say stupid stuff to me, it infuriates me. I didn't have to share anything, but you know, these little videos, my posts, you know what it stops? Stupidness. Where people are being lied to and conned, when they actually find out they're being conned, and that it's just a drug scam, they stop. Because it defeats their lives. You know, People say the most ignorant stuff around me. I had to go to orthopedic doctors. My legs are so swollen, my knees are popping out of place. They had to pull out turkey-based syringes of fluid out from underneath my knees. At first it was once a month, and then it was every couple months. And they would put steroids on them. The orthopedic doctor prescribed the canes and braces because my knees were so big they would literally just pop out of place and I'd go down. My feet are a normal 7.5 shoe, and it was 8.5, 9 wide. They were literally this thick. I had so much swelling on me, like a doctor said, it's like you need dialysis. Your kidneys can't keep up with all the swelling. I had pneumonia. I had several times. I had heart attacks. I had seizures from all the wrong meds. Those crackpots almost killed me. And it's documented fraud. The only thing, like they said, the only thing that's wrong with you is your muscles locked up. They caused everything. My community health offered to go with me to court to sue them for 2 or 3 years. And it's wrote up as fraud, medical malpractice, and medication errors. And I had to learn to walk again on numb feet. My muscles were crunched so tight, that the muscles would raise up through the skin and blood vessels would break and blood would run down my stomach and my legs from them clenching. That's excruciating. They had to put me on fentanyl patches. And it took me 9 months to learn to walk again. You know, those men yesterday on the 8th were talking, said nobody thought it was funny when that family admitted that they made all that stuff up when they went in that agent's office, saying how it offended them. She was almost well in April. She had nothing to do with that traffic accident. It was months later. And they were trying to say, even though it was months later, she shouldn't get help because she shouldn't have got well. She was already almost well. She had nothing to do with that car wreck. Exactly. And who the hell do you think these people are that you think they're God Almighty? And somebody that has nothing to do with them, they have nothing to do with them. And I had 2.5 years of surgeries and about 2 years of medical malpractice and 9 months of getting slowly well. In the middle of me getting well, her father speeding, run a stop sign in front of people, don't even try to stop it, and hits a semi, killing him and their son. Did I have anything to do with it? No. Did they have anything to do with all those surgeries and the endometriosis and kidney surgeries and all that other stuff? No. How about the medical fraud where they falsely diagnosed me, gave me all those wrong meds, and my whole body swelled up, and seizures, heart attacks, massive body swelling, thyroid, adrenal gland shut down? I'd hope they weren't part of those people defrauding me, because they almost killed me. Then my community health tell me it's just the meds doing it, that they are known for falsely diagnosing people, ripping them off, and making them sick. There were no, and getting kickbacks from drug companies. And offered to go to court with us if we sued them. They almost killed me. No, and I went to Dr. Eli. He agreed it was a medication. Put me on fentanyl patches. They don't give fentanyl to figures. It's 100 times stronger than morphine. And muscle relaxers. He said the only way you can get clenched muscles to relax is to move them. And the only way you could, and you can't even move. He said, I got to get you out of pain to move. And as you move, blood flow will get pushed into them. And as blood flow gets pushed into them, they'll relax. Then we can build new muscle tissue. He said everything else is caused by the medication. And it took me 9 months. I started in October, November of 2002. Told you, first month I lost 30 pounds off the meds. Second month I swung myself around stores and malls. Got in so much pain and I'm in the hospital. By the third month I could drive a car. Heart attacks, seizures are gone. Thyroid, adrenal gland started working. And the massive body swelling slowly left as I pulled myself up and down streets, malls, stores, practicing walking at home. I told you, I take one step, I take two steps, I take 6 steps. They've even heard my mom brag, Karen, you never gave up. I tell everybody Karen made it 6 steps, she's going to beat this. She made it 10 steps finally. And it took me months and months to learn to walk again on my own. And I had to work, like they said, she had to work her ass off. Okay. And I didn't get well till July. I got my fentanyl patches redone in June 13th of 2003, and I finished getting well like mid-July. So, had nothing to do with that family. And that like they were talking in Walmart, nobody thought it was funny that that family told FBI agent that they made everything up when they went in that office. How it offended them. Well, of course they were lying. I had nothing to do with her father killing her kid. And they had nothing to do with what was happening to me. And where would you think that they're so great that they say, we're offended. Kill her. It was 15 years ago. Our minister called her faker. Retards. Retards. Now they made everything up when they went in that office so they'd help get away with it. You know, people say the stupidest things around me. And you know all I have to do is put what is a jail sentence for that? It's usually a federal crime of 20 to life. See, that's where my little case with the threat and attempt to lie case, where that guy said, who would have thought they would have got big drug dealers off of it? And they actually did. And they know that one guy's selling the login and other people haven't. Nobody say a word if she said anything. And they can't anyways. They have a freedom of speech. They're just police officers. Now, people have been acting like it was crazy Agent John down at the Tuscarawas County Courthouse trying to get his own case thrown out. Where March 5th, 26, Bell Store, Magnolia. A lady investigator said nobody thought it was funny when those FBI agents showed up. And we're bad-mouthing calling her case fraud. If a FBI agent opens a fraud case, it's a federal crime of 20 years. They can't open up a fraud case. And them telling everybody not to believe her, not to help her, that's a federal crime of 20 years too. Then and then those people saying that other people showed up and said they paid that agent off. He took a bribe to let all this happen. They're going after him to get him arrested. Get his case thrown out for fraud. They're sending, those guys mentioned it in Walmart on 62 yesterday. They're sending out those emails to police departments of him saying, say you're lying, I'll arrest you. Say you're lying, I'll put you in jail. Then laughing at her after he threatened to come up there and arrest her. She didn't say it. Nobody thinks this is funny. Oh, that's a federal crime of 20 years. It's tampering with a witness and obstruction to justice. They can never call you a liar while you're giving a statement. They're to take your statement if they believe you or not and follow through. They can't call you a liar. It's badgering, it's obstruction of justice, and tampering with a witness and tampering with evidence. They said they were going after him. Just like an agent cannot tell a victim or an informant, they will not get their informant money if they say anything. It is considered blackmail. See, that's what they were saying. We found out if he says she can't have her money because she said anything, it's considered blackmail and a crime against the U.S. government because it's out of government funds meant for the informant. He said, I didn't even think of it that way. No, nobody's not been thinking of any of this. It's obstruction, justice, and tampering with a witness, too. 20 or 30 years. Just like they can't turn you back over to people harming you, it can go into attempted murder. They can't tell anybody, they can't help you if you say anything. Same thing. They can't tell on you for calling either. See, they got him for like 100 years. I was always told it was an act. Those guys were even talking about that. The police had told her it was an act because they felt bad for the way that agent talked to her, and they're afraid to stand up to an FBI agent. They better. Do you know a local police officer can arrest an FBI agent? They do a crime. They are not immune from doing illegal crimes. They're not immune from them. And they're just police officers where you work. Local does the local area. The sheriff's does the county. State patrol does the state highway. Then there's federal police officers that can work anywhere in the United States. It's where you work. The FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigators. Let's see. Secret Service and U.S. Marshals. They're federal police officers. They just can work anywhere. Otherwise, it's just where you're employed. But they do a crime in their area. They are sworn duty to uphold the law and arrest them. Taking an informant's money. See, that's where Sheriff David said, that agent's so arrogant with you. He's retired now. He said, he's so arrogant with you. He stole your money in front of the police. He told on you. He committed all those crimes. He's not even afraid of your local police that they'll arrest him. He's like daring them. Well, all the police had always said that he was supposed to be acting that way. That it was supposed to be an act to trick him. He wasn't supposed to be really doing this. It was supposed to be an act. I pray for Agent John all the time. But if he's where even teenagers said the local FBI is the worst white-collar criminals there is, that's a horrible reputation. It is. And Officer Mark, Officer John. Okay. I know my community health talked to you guys back in 18. Where I go, we get new doctors all the time. Would you mind doing something for me? Like show up and break me up to... I don't like my doctor. I'm stuck with him for 4 years until I get another one. Probably 3 more. Maybe to teach him some manners. Karen's one of our informants. Her helping us, you do know all those injuries, she got it from helping us. With her going through all that, we got surveillance on a lot of drug dealers. A lot of people were saved. A lot of drug dealers went to jail. Her ex-husband was connected into. She had the debt in her head. She was even tortured by drug dealers. She was human trafficked. She was beat. Large pouching in her intestines, all caused by her helping us. Her shoulder being tore up. That's why she was on bladder spasm medicine for years, because she was tortured by 3 drug dealers. By the way, there's not been anybody saying they're FBI or police bad-mouthing her hair or some doctor or attorney fishing for information. Because we'd want you to know, because her ex-husband and his church, those drug dealers are connected to, are trying to extort money from the government. They ran scams on her. They were keeping her drugged up there, drugging her to tell her say stuff. We already knew they were using like hypnotic drugs. They cause sleepwalking, Photoshop washing, and as if we'd fall for that, and a fake dirty doctor breaking HIPAA. Run around bad mouthing her as if we'd fall for that. There's not been anybody here, right? And then they thought they could pull a con where she had some medical malpractice 25 years ago, that they could twist it around and thought they could try to extort money out of her, and it was just fraud, medical malpractice. Whole body swelled up, and we all know about everything that happened. Her muscles were locked out from surgeries. She had like 6 to 10 in about 2 years. You make sure you take care of her informant when she's here. When you talk to her, realize what she's lived through. Might want to be a little more compassionate. You might want to see his expression if you ask if anybody's been there. See if you can get anybody. Because where they were acting around like they were running around trying to get information out of Altman Hospital doctors, see if anybody showed up. You know, since 18, they have tried these riffraff people. Now, it could just be another line, another scam. That there was a doctor from Altman Hospital that watched me. That's creepy. I don't know him. Get the idea? And it's not one of my doctors. It may just be a pervert. That or it's just Freaky Henry Moffey pretending to be a doctor again. I found out he was the one pretending to be the doctor from before. Like he said, he never met me in person. Ugly horse-ass face man. But you know, these people run around and say crazy stuff. They don't even know what they're talking about. See, these people, when, oh, we were going to get money out of her, they were never going to get money out of me. And them thinking that they're going to extort money from the FBI, that's laughable. But like they said, the guy behind all this wanted to prove that the U.S. government is so dumb they'll fall for anything, and so will its people. Came from Texas? Or George Peters? Was that strange that I hated him? See, that's one thing. The FBI does look into hate crimes. People hurting somebody. Remember when they arrested the Amish people for cutting off beards? My God, these people walked into an FBI office and admitted they were trying to kill me because some idiot called me a faker 15 years before. It was medical malpractice and medication errors and fraud. And they could just kill people. And were justified doing it. And they were using sodium pentothal on me to get the truth out of me. They were drugging me. You know, by 21, they even admitted no man ever talked to her. No, we used truth serum on her instead. No, they were using hypnotic drugs and drugging me up and telling me to say stuff. Like Officer Mark said in August of 23, it's documented, verified, she was framed before, and it was a drug cartel in her home before. We've seen them. It's documented, verified, it was a medication error that made her sick before, and another woman was even using her insurance. I guess people didn't understand the word documented and verified. My head just hurts. I had 2 Kingsmen follow me, what was it, last week? And they've been following me for a long time. Different places, different towns. One of them moved to play with them today. Them show up and say something. But if you say something to that doctor, make sure you take care of her informant, what she's left her. Anybody shows up saying anything, make sure you call us. Because they're scammers. They're all scammers. And they're just trying to extort money out of her and the government. And Officer Mark, Officer John. If Agent John really did take a bribe, and it wasn't an act to scam them, the reverse psychology to act like them, and he was the one down in the courthouse, someone does need to arrest him because the case against the drug cartel will get thrown out. All those serial killers will get released. The government still owes me all that money, and they're using the thing of him defrauding me. The legal loopholes that we're looking for. He can't just open cases and put the money in his pocket. It's theft out of the government. And he can't go around telling on people, bullying them into false statements under threats of arrest, telling everybody not to help him and turn him back over to drug cartels, then put the money from the case in his dirty pocket. If it wasn't an act, he's very dangerous. And his actions, if they are not stopped by the FBI and the police, thousands of cartel will be released. I'm praying for him all the time that he does what's right and that it was an act. Because where they go around saying they got an FBI agent in their pocket, the drug cartel, that's scary. That's very scary. And he can't go around telling people you say something, you won't get no money. Then the money's open, he's putting it in his pocket. He can't even tell anybody, they can't say anything. And it's right on Google, if an FBI agent tells a victim or informant they can't say anything or they won't get their money. That is blackmail. It's obstruction and tampering with a witness, and it's extortion out of government funds. It's a crime against the U.S. government because he's stealing from the government. If you go into depths, how far it can go. I pray for him all the time. I pray for our law enforcement, the ones that actually took their sworn duty to heart of protecting people and upholding the laws. I pray for them. And I pray for the victims that will happen if those drug dealers are released. Like they said, if you actually look her up, you actually take the time to look her up. Her FBI case was just a threat and attempt to lie case to find out who was behind it. And it led into arrest of a lot of big drug dealers. Who would have thought it actually happened? And nobody will say a word to her. Well, they can't anyways. And then that they know that that guy Will is selling the login to the case to everyone, and everybody's got it. Or a lot of people have it. You know, my little videos, you know, to their scam, when I upload laws that they can't do this. This is a jail sentence for this. This is a jail sentence for this. Here's your right, and it says they can't say it. Here's the law that says they can't do it. They're scamming you. It's a scam. Here's where to find witnesses of them saying this person was lying, this person was lying. The whole thing was a scam to extort money from the government. They've been pulling the biggest con off here. You know what it does? It stops people from falling for it. stops people from falling for their scam. And they stop harassing me. When they find out that they're being scammed by a bunch of drug dealers, they run around, oh, an attorney. There's no attorney. Because I'll tell you what, an attorney would know they'd be looking at disbarment immediately. There wouldn't be an attorney once the Bar Association found out. And they would be calling the FBI to arrest them. No attorney can do any of this. Nobody can. It's absurd. But you do need to find out who was in that courthouse, because they were saying they were FBI agents trying to get my case thrown out. And nobody thought they were funny doing it, because it's federal crimes. It's federal crimes, and people went down and told them they took bribes. Then sent out the videos of the way how he was blackmailing me. Badgering me, obstructing justice, and then laughing at me. The recorded line is evil. Like she said, he sounded like pure evil on the phone. He sounded like Satan himself. I'm going to go ahead and upload this, but you need to find out who was there. And if you take care of the rest, I'd really appreciate it. And I mean, dear God, somebody needs to stand up for that FBI case. It was a legitimate case. That was a threat and attempt to lie case. He had every bit around her. Of course she's going to get paid. Of course it's a real case. And of course we have the right to be around her. And that surveillance is very legal. We had a court order to find out who was responsible for the threat and attempt to lie case. It just led into the drug cartel. We know. See, that's where I'm praying that Agent John just says it was a scam. The reverse psychology act like them. So you can get them. Yeah. But if not, you need to rest and still take care of it yourself. Because there's something about these people. They think he'd rather go to jail than to do what's right. How much money do they give him? Because nothing is worth 100 years in jail. And betraying your country and the U.S. citizens and all those women and children that died. Nothing's worse than that. Nothing. How much is your soul worth? Mine's not for sale. I seen on Google where other agents have took bribes and that are in jail for $125,000, $225,000. I thought you sold your soul to the devil for so little. You gotta be kidding me. You sold your soul to the devil. Ended up in federal prison disgraced for such a little bit of money. I'm gonna go ahead and upload this.